Hello everybody and welcome back to Certified Collectibles. This is another episode of First Appearance of the Week. This is Wednesday, March 12th, 2025. We'll be getting you all the first appearance in your comic shops today. Now this week we got a light video for you guys. I think we only have 2 first appearances, 2 honorable mentions, so only 4 titles all to go through, but there's definitely some books in there to pick up for your collection. So let's go ahead and get started for the first appearance of the week, beginning March 14th, 2025. First up from Marvel Comics, Spirits of Violence number 1. This features a possible first appearance of the Spirit of Violence. This is also the premiere issue of this title series that teams up the Spirits of Vengeance versus the Spirit of Violence. Now, the Spirit of Violence was first mentioned in Spirits of Vengeance number 3 back in 2024. Now, as we always mention with the possible first appearances, definitely get confirmation that this is indeed the first full appearance before you pick this up. Being that this here is the premiere issue of this title series anyway, this one here may be worth picking up regardless, even if you don't get the confirmation before picking it up. It's usually a good idea to pick up the premiere issues of the title series from Marvel Comics, because like I always say, Marvel Disney is still churning out a ton of media, and you never know where they're going to pull characters from or storylines from. So if they actually pull storylines or a story arc out of this particular series, then this here is one you definitely do want to own anyway, even if it doesn't have the first full appearance. So definitely get confirmation if you are picking this up strictly for the first appearance itself. But if you're just picking this up to spec on as a premiere issue of this title series, once again, probably still worth picking up. So this one here, we do think you should probably pick up for your collection, so go ahead and grab this one. And finally from Image Comics, Void Rivals number 17. This features the first full appearance and origin of Zerta Trion. Now this Void Rivals title series, this has been a big deal for Image Comics. Issues number 1 and 2, highly collected. It has a huge fan base, huge collector base, and those issues definitely do trade for a premium in the secondary market. Now there have been other first appearance issues in this title series as well, and those have also done pretty well. Not only is this a popular and heavily collected title series, but Image Comics has had a lot of their titles picked up an option for small screen, big screen projects in the past, and if this particular title series gets picked up, option for the screen, this is going to be a huge deal. Like I said, it's popular already, so if it hits the screen, these first appearance books are definitely going to blow up. So this one here, in our opinion, is worth picking up. Like I said, Void Rivals, this title series is already popular, and if it does actually hit the screen, if this does get optioned, this title series, this is going to be a big deal. So if you can, grab this here for your collection. And now for the honorable mentions. From Marvel Comics, Iron Man number 6. This features the debut of new Iron Man armor. Now, like we always mention with you guys, it's typically always a good idea to pick up the first appearance of new characters, or new suits, or new armors, or new superpowers, or new artifacts in these Marvel titles. Marvel Disney is still churning out a ton of media for a small screen, big screen, and if any of these new items hit the screen, collectors will race back and try to find the first appearance in the comics. Now, if the armor they're debuting in this issue is the new look for Iron Man, especially on the screen, this is a book you definitely want to own. Anytime they change a character going forward, whenever they make that change, like I said, these are books you definitely want to have in your collection. So this one here, in our opinion, is definitely worth picking up, so go ahead and grab this one. And finally from Image Comics, Assorted Crisis Events number 1. Now this here is the series premiere of this new title series. Time is having a crisis. Mingling in the Red Light District, you can find active cavemen, medieval knights, and cyborg soldiers on leave from World War IV. Victorian debutantes amble their way into cell phone stores, confused and bewildered. On their way to work, blurry-eyed commuters get trapped in time loops, assaulted by alternate reality versions of themselves, and try to avoid post-apocalyptic wastelands. Now, this year is going to be an ongoing zigzagging anthology series featuring one-shot stories, both beautiful and ugly, tragic and redemptive, surreal, and somehow all too familiar. Now this title series here sounds very interesting, and the fact that they're stringing together a bunch of one-shots or singular stories, this one here definitely sounds like it has the potential to be optioned for a small screen, big screen project. Image Comics, like we mentioned before, has had a lot of their titles picked up an option in the past, so they already have an inroad into Hollywood. If they are able to string together a bunch of one-shot stories, this sounds like it can easily lend itself to a weekly television series or a streaming series. So this here will definitely be speculative if you choose to pick it up, because you are specking on this getting pick up an option, getting a lot more eyes on this title series, and having collectors and fans race back to the secondary market and try to find this premiere issue. Like I said, this one here, in our opinion, has a great potential, so if you can, grab this here for a spec. So there you have the 4 titles we have for you guys this week. Very short week, but there's definitely some books in there worth picking up for your collection. So please feel free to drop some comments in the comment section below. Thumbs up if you like this video. And as always, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for joining us here at Certified Collectibles, and we'll see you again next time.